again to our 12:30 hour of the Let's Talk NMB. Let's talk with moved it from Let's Talk with a Manager to Let's Talk NMB. And I do appreciate you being here today. When we started this forum, it's really as an informative session to speak with our community, where we have directors on this. We've got some commissioners who are on here. And can everyone hear me okay? Can you hear me? Okay, great, thanks.
Yes.
Where we're on the phone, we have an opportunity to talk about government, our community in this COVID-19 era. And so I welcome you all here today. I want to recognize, I see Commissioner Smith. I'm not seeing anyone else, are we? And Commissioner Kramer. I'm waiting for my adjustment. So welcome to the forum and welcome all of the residents. I see some new faces who are on here today. Welcome to this. We're going to have a discussion today on our parks. It's a very topical, very timely that we're talking about this, because I know there's some preliminary discussions being had right now to decide what's really happening within our community as states are trying to get back together, get some sort of semblance, get to some new norms. I know this is being considered. What do you do with parks? Well, we've closed all of our parks, but we've kept one open. We've open what we would call the gem of one of the gems of our city, rather, and that's the Snake Creek Canal, which is a passive park that we have kept open, and it has been utilized. There are many people going around just walking to get that COVID-19 stay-at-home cabin fever grind off by using that facility. But today we're joined by a director who just loves parks, who has done some great things here in the city of North Miami Beach. And I know he regrets having to close facilities, having to do all of this, but they've stayed. Some of the things that we've not been able to get to, their staff is doing that now and preparing for the end of COVID-19, so we can continue to bring those goods and services to you that our Parks and Recreation team do so well. So at this time, I want to introduce you to Andy Plotkin, who is our Director of Parks and Recreation, and he'll be speaking to us about what we're doing right now in our park system as COVID-19 has changed some things for us. So Andy, it's yours.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. To all the residents that are on, Mayor, Commissioners, can everybody hear me? Okay, great. Yes, as a parks professional and the things that we do outside and in groups and it's this uncertainty and this definitely COVID-19 has really affected all of us, definitely in Parks and Recreation. But I want to start off by saying I hope everybody is staying home, being safe, and doing all the recommended guidelines of just being healthy. With that said, I just want to talk about things that our Parks and Recreation team are doing for the city right now. We have set up different teams, so we do have teams rotating throughout the city, pressure washing all the parks, even though they're closed. They still will be maintained and cleaned. So we're out pressure washing parks. We're out litter patrolling and disinfecting all the parks. That's two teams. We have another team taking care of maintenance needs, minor maintenance needs, whether it be fencing, gates, broken locks, etc. We have a team taking care of those issues. We also have a team going around checking our irrigation. Greenery in our city is precious, and we love green, and we want to make sure that our irrigation and our parks are functioning properly and taking care of those repairs or those needs as well as in City Hall and the PSA building and code building. We have a team that's going around and disinfecting and wiping all the common areas, the doors, and all those things to try to keep everybody safe, our residents safe, our employees safe, those visiting and those still doing business with the city. So we have all that going on, as well as we're assisting with the trolley cleaning Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. So we're out there. The trolley does a loop about an hour, and it stops at a certain point, and our team gets on and wipes down and disinfects the trolleys to keep our community, keep our residents safe. We have our pool maintenance team. The pools, at least our main pool, it's got some issues that we're going to deal with, but we're still maintaining the pool, the deck, the cleanliness, the pump rooms, and other issues, and that's throughout the city. We have three pools, and we just want to make sure that the equipment and the sanitary needs are still taken care of in these facilities. Also, we have our supervisors calling our youth participants, making just phone checks, checking in on families, checking in on our youth, seeing how they're doing, making sure everybody's okay, reminding them to fill out census. So census is on our mind too as Parks and Recreation. We know how important it is to the city that we get 50,000 plus one. So we're working on that, and we're making those phone calls to our participants. We're involved heavily in food distributions. So our team is involved with logistics, the setup, the organizing, the packing of food that we've done, and makes me very proud and very happy that we're able to provide to those in need. And that Parks and Recreation is a part of that, and we take food to the resident stores. And tomorrow we got a big one coming up. That's a drive-through that will be the first one that we're doing, and the Parks and Rec team is involved in handling that, along with Public Affairs and Public Works and all the great teams that the city have. So we're instrumental, and we're a big part of the food distributions. We have also this exciting and new stuff that we're looking into and that we're launching, and it's called virtual programming that we'll be launching soon. It's going to be NMB Virtual Vibe. So we have lots of great new stuff that we'll be posting on our social medias, and that's at NMB Parks and Rec, Instagram, Facebook at NMB Parks Rec. Go there. Great content, great activities, great things are being posted and will be posted and be enhanced postings coming up to keep the community, keep our residents engaged, and have great interaction with great things such as health initiatives. We'll have some CPR, refresher classes, a whole bunch of different activities, and we're very excited about that. And the team is working hard on getting our virtual on and doing some great things in this new realm that we're going into. And I think virtual programming and virtual stuff is not just going to be a COVID-19 thing. I think that's going to be a new thing and a new wave, and we're getting into that, and we're excited about what we're going to be bringing to our community. We have very exciting upcoming capital projects, that'll be happening soon and starting soon. We have a Columbia Park playground resurfacing, so we're removing all the mulch, and we're getting this better, this safer, poured in place safety surfacing for Columbia Park, and that's on the horizon. the Ulita Park, even though sports is not going on now, but we're upgrading our sports field lighting to a new LED system. So the sports fields over at Ulita will get an enhancement, a greatly needed lighting enhancement for when the time comes and we're able to flip that switch. We have a new swing set, new swings that are going to be added to the Victory Playground that's coming up soon. And that's going to be exciting. That'll be our second set of swings in the city of North Miami Beach, with our first being installed, I guess, last fiscal year at Milton Littman Park. So this is exciting to bring swings to our city, and many more exciting projects that I'm not going to get into because they'll be going to commission. But we're happy and we're excited that we're going to be bringing some great things and great capital projects to our city. And as the director of Parks and Recreation, I just let everybody know that there's a group of directors in South Florida, and it's probably just about everybody that we're always in constant contact through WhatsApp, and we're all talking daily about what's going on in their cities and our cities, and how to help each other. So we're in contact with most of the directors in South Florida, and just working through this together, and helping each other and supporting each other and how we're utilizing and what we're doing in the functions of Parks and Recreation. And then once a week, we do a Zoom meeting now with it's called the South Florida Parks Coalition, and that's headed up by the county. So we're going to have a great discussion come Thursday regarding some of these, I guess, recommendations that have been made by the county. So those are the things that the Parks and Recreation is doing and serving our community. We're happy to do so. We love to make a positive difference, and anytime we can do that, we're very proud of that, and that's just who we are, and that's just what we do. And we couldn't do it without every other team in the city: Public Works, Public Affairs, Police, Finance, Procurement, Code, Building, so on and so forth. This is a great team. This is a great city, and in Parks and Recreation, we're proud to do our part. With that said, I'll turn it back to the manager, or to any questions, or however you want to move forward, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Andy. I look forward to seeing virtual vibes, as does all of our community. I know it won't be touchy-feely, which is what we do, and no puns intended here,
Right.
in Parks and Recreation. But I know that the kind of job, you have an awesome team that's very creative, and we look forward to virtual vibes. We really do. Are there any questions at this time based upon Andy's presentation?
I have a question when you have a chance, Mr. Manager.
Go ahead, Commissioner, you're on.
Okay. Thank you so much for all your hard work at these times, because I know besides the children and just exercise, for many families, it's going to be very significant about our summer programs. So I know that you just said Thursday you're going to have this multi-meeting, and then I want to see what we have in line as a city for the summer. My concern is if it's going to be virtual, and I see on television where they do a great number of arts and crafts, and they do with all these young children, but many of the people in our city can't afford the materials. So do we have a way at North Miami Beach for maybe the after school programs that we could determine who, and like we deliver food, we could deliver a little bag of materials for some of the events if this continues to go on and it's going to be done virtually? And then my other question is, do we have any idea when the main swimming pool will be reopened? I mean, not because of the virus, because of the repairs.
Well, I know this is an item that you'll be voting on tonight.
Yes.
So let's have a discussion probably afterward, Commissioner.
Okay,
That's fine. If that's fine. That item is on the agenda for this evening. Who has a hand up? 1 second. Commissioner, are you finished?
no, I wanted an answer about, can we get supplies to those that, for arts and crafts? Is that a possibility on the horizon to even for discussion?
We'll look at the budget. I think it's a great idea, something to be explored, and we'll look into it and get back with you for sure. And of course to the community, but we will look at that, see what's all involved. I think Ketley, you had your hand up. Thanks, Commissioner.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for everything you do and your staff. I'm asking the same question, well, it wasn't a question yesterday. Andy, yesterday I was driving around. I went by Ulita where they play baseball, and it looked like a signage heaven where everyone have their, everyone that more or less are sponsoring the Little League have their signs on the fence. It doesn't look very aesthetic to me, and I don't think we should be having this in North Miami Beach. Once you start with one, it's gonna go. And the thing is that as a member of the beautification committee, I really don't think this thing make us look more beautiful. I don't think it should be there. I don't think our parks need it, and especially in my area. So I don't know why is it there for all these signs.
Yesterday I was on the call and I heard you talk about the signs at Ulita. I had staff go and send me some pictures. I think there were like 3 or 4 banners up that were NMB Little League sponsored companies, or you know, was sponsored by or sponsoring Little League. I spoke to our parks superintendent to call the Little League president and let them know that you know, we're going to be you know, removing those sponsorship or those signs for now. I'll get into code, or we'll talk to code and talk to them about what's allowed and not allowed, you know, moving forward. But you know, all programming is canceled and Little League is not going on. So we're going to ask him to remove them, and if he can't, or you know, just can't get out there to do that, then we're going to be removing them for him and holding them. So I heard what was I heard the comment yesterday, and we're moving forward with a resolution.
Let me just say something real quickly on that as well, if I may, Andy. If
Yes.
we have Little League, I mean, we thank all of our sponsors for everything that they do for Little League, because they're advancing a cause in an area when minds are so young, they're being developed. So there's a whole lot to be said for those people who want to even inject $1 into Little League. What we have to do as a city is to make sure that those signs are somewhat more standardized, but not to penalize people for what they're giving us based upon helping us. So it's left up to us now to do the work and standardize it. But we thank every single person who contributes to our Little League.
Yes, I understand. We thank them too. My concern was that sometimes I drive in front of certain schools and you see all these banners. I mean, it doesn't really look like a school anymore. It's sort of like an advertising area. And I don't think this is what NMB is.
I'll just say, Ketley, I agree with you totally. I'm going to say our bad. Let's standardize this so things look a little bit more uniform, and so we can go on with it.
Thank you.
But thank you for that comment.
Yes.
Thank you. And I just want to recognize, okay, good. There is some of the raised hand, but it says 251094. We don't know who that is.
That is, I'm sorry. Good afternoon, manager, directors.
Diane?
Yes, Diane
Hi,
Rawls.
how are you?
Fine, thank you. I just want to start with the incredible job everyone in this city is doing and staff. It's amazing. My question is with Mayor Jimenez wanting to open up parks and beaches and what have you, and our curfew, which for the city is 10 to 5. And if the parks are open, is there going to be a time change? Because everyone will want to be in our parks, of course. And it's a situation I'm sure the mayor and commissioners are looking into, and yourself, manager. But it is an issue because if we're still under stay home and quarantine, it makes a big difference of what's going to go on our streets.
I'll tell you that a decision has not been arrived at. I know there have been several discussions. In fact, the mayors on this, we were on a call on Sunday morning with the mayors and managers of Miami-Dade County to discuss this. It's very preliminary in the stages, but I'll just tell you that there are people utilizing our passive park, which is a Snake Creek Canal, to get their exercise on. They're doing so responsibly, as far as we have seen. We've made some adjustments in terms of the rangers that we're using out there, and we will continue to use that area. And you know, when something comes up, we'll have a discussion and decide where it's going, because in this environment, anything that occurs, any rules or regulations that come down, it really has to do with enforcement. Can it be enforced? Can't it be enforced? And the resources to do the enforcement. So we will stay tuned to the conversations as they go along. I know Andy's on that with all the parks directors of Miami-Dade County, and I know the mayor does that. And at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I think, or 2:30, I'm on a call with Miami-Dade County City and County Managers Association. So we're really in the loop of the conversation that's going on.
And if I
Wonderful.
may add, manager, to your statement, while the county mayor may pass down this mandate when things start opening up, it nevertheless does not take away the authority from our manager to open or leave parks closed, whichever ones he determines are the appropriate ones to leave open, and whichever ones we should keep closed, which people would be touching more than others. So to that, manager, I
Yes.
yield to you.
Yes,
Thank
you for that very important
Excellent.
point, because it's going to be left up to, if for want of a better word, the home rule remains with us for us to determine what to do. Yes.
Thank you very much.
While we're on the subject of Victor Pool, you know, sometimes we're thinking of closing certain areas. It's great that not great. We knew that the pool was going down. We had budgeted for the pool, but it's great that it happened at this time. So at least, if it's, well, let me leave that alone. It's timely. While I have you here, let me just tell you about something that that just occurred. You may be, for those of us who may be watching the news, you may see it, that we do have a water break in, and I'm looking for where this is. It's in the Biscayne Gardens area, and it's affecting probably about, well, the split is like a 40% of the commercial businesses there and 60% residential. A boil water is going to be issued there. This is some place where we supply water. However, you know, notwithstanding all that, the fault lies with Miami-Dade County. They were working on a project there, and they hit our water line. So they're there with us now, working on resolving that problem. They have owned up to it. And but nevertheless, you know, it's City of North Miami Beach's water that's compromised. But I'll tell you that we're there right now. We're working on resolving the problem. but a boil water order will have to go in place. A boil water order is necessary whenever pressure falls below a certain PSI in a water pipe. Once it falls below that pressure, it's best to have a boil water order to make sure that things don't go awry. And I wanted to tell you that we have inched up a little bit more on our census, and we are now at 43.4% in North Miami Beach. Every day gets a little bit better. I want to see the day when we jump by 5 percentage points or 10 percentage points. That's what I'm looking for. But nevertheless, we're going up and not going down. And Edena is going to be speaking about the library tomorrow. I know she'll be bringing some fantastic things to you. Let me just talk a little bit about the food drive that we have for tomorrow, because Andy mentioned it real quick before. There's a food drive. I know it's almost like a public reversal of what we had said that we would not do. But friends, the need is real within our community. It's real. Whereas we would have preferred to have do it the way we're doing it, by bringing things to people's home. So it's a stay safe environment. There's need out there. And when someone comes to you and said, I am willing to feed your community, we want to come to you and feed your community, we say yes. So we're going to be telling North Miami Beach's people to arrive a little earlier than most people. So I think it's scheduled now for 9 o'clock. Get there at 7 NMB, spread the word. So we are first online, because tried as we may to make this be a NMB first, it really could not work. And so we had to adjust otherwise. So remember, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be at the Op Center, which is at 2101 Northeast 159th Street. 2101 Northeast 159th Street. This is something that was just sprung upon us at the last moment. In fact, the contract was signed yesterday, so we didn't have a lot of advance notice on this one. But I'll tell you that we have advance notice on the fact that we're going to be doing another round of delivering food to people's homes. Because Trish, I got your text message this morning. Not everyone in Highland Village has a car. And to do it the way they're doing it, you have to have a car that pulls up and stuff is put in the back of the trunk. So don't worry, Trish, we got you. Greg will be speaking with you, and then we'll continue to do it the way we have done it with delivering foods to your homes. Let me say rather quickly while I have you here that tonight we have our first virtual meeting. First virtual commission meeting. Horace is correcting me in the background. First virtual commission meeting, and it's going to be at 6 o'clock. It's going to be on, some of us will be in the commission chambers, others will be in the safe confines of their homes. It will be broadcasted on channel 77, on 1610 AM, and also on our website, citynmb.com. If you have a question, if you want to make a comment, that public comment section where usually you would have your 3 minutes to come up, we won't be able to do this virtually. However, if you call the clerk's office or you send an email to the clerk, you can get your questions in and they'll be read during that time for public comment. So it's very important. We are operating in a different environment, different scenario, but those are just some of the things. I'm happy I was able to get those off because I will not be cut off today. Are there, okay, and the public cannot attend tonight's meeting. Okay, just so you know. So are there any other questions or comments?
The public can attend, but only via their comments. In particular to the agenda. The actual commission chambers will not be open to the public, so that we avoid the spread of contamination of the virus.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you for the further clarification.
Anybody can participate with their message. Get it to the clerk before 5. What the time is our meeting today, Manager? 6?
At 6, sir. Yes.
So get it to the clerk before 5 o'clock, so she can have it ready for the meeting at 6.
Great. Tomorrow we're going to be, the library is going to be on. We'll be discussing what the library does. And, you know, Edena is going to bring her usual effervescence to this. So please tune in for that. The library continues to serve us in some very creative manners despite COVID-19. So Edena will be there to talk about it. And I'm pretty sure she'll find a moment to talk about census again, because that continues to be topical for us. And on Thursday, we're going to be introducing conversations on the utilities. It won't be about contracts. It will not be about contracts. It will be about the safe drinking water that we have. Where does our water come from? What happens during a boil water? How do you, how do we test our water with the EPA regulations, with our accredited lab that does different tests? So it will be an exciting few weeks coming up. Just to talk about water would be more than one opportunity. But in the very last 2 minutes that we have, I wanted to see if there were any other questions or comments.
Ms. City Manager, is the police chief here? Is the police chief?
Yes, he is.
Will you please convey to him and to everybody that's listening, I heard on this morning's news, starting tomorrow for 2 weeks, to first responders, doctors, nurses, police, if they go to McDonald's, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and show their ID, they're going to get free meals, starting tomorrow for 2 weeks. And I hope our city takes advantage. I hope our police officers that are really taking care of us go.
Great, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Hey, Manager.
Yes, Greg.
Yeah, I just want to mention McDonald's is they're donating the food tomorrow for our volunteers. The volunteers that's working tomorrow at the Feeding South Florida event. So McDonald's, I reached out to them yesterday, and they're excited about taking care of the volunteers tomorrow.
Thank you, G. Thank you. Commissioner Kramer, you had a question.
Yeah, I'm just concerned that, you know, wouldn't people, even though the Feeding South Florida starts at 9 a.m., most people are going to go there at 7 a.m. So I'm not really sure, you know, it's a great advice, but I think most people just go early anyway, so they can get in line and make sure that they get the necessities that they need.
Good comment. I'm just telling you that selfishly, I just wanted North Miami Beach to be at the front of the line.
No, I agree. I agree.
I would hate, so then I'd probably say 6 o'clock.
Right, I agree.
Okay.
And Chief, just make sure, you know, chicken sandwiches, salads from McDonald's, you know.
Gluten-free, of course. There is a hand up from, thank you, Commissioner, a hand up from Galaxy 58. There's 1 minute left. Galaxy 58. Okay, it's Trish. Unmute.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes, you got 20 seconds, Trish.
Yeah, 20 seconds. You always do that to me. Okay, I just want to say thank you for what you said, but I had 3 questions on that. The one, can someone, if they pull up with a truck and there's 5 people in it, are you going to allow all 5 people to get food?
Greg, shortest answer you have, shortest.
I would have to check with Feeding South Florida on that.
The shortest answer is C, Greg.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in today. I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. Be safe, speak with a loved one, and just be safe in all things.
Thanks,
and see you at 6 o'clock at the commission.
See you at 6.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Barbara.
Bye.
Bye, everybody else.
It's like the Brady Bunch. It's like the Brady Bunch pie.
Okay, be safe, everyone.
No, it's the Walton.
Yes, good night.
Hi, Adenia. Hi, Andy.
Bye, KCT.
I did my part yesterday.
Hi, Kathleen.
Sex people.
I'm scared if I hang up, I just disconnect everybody. I will. I got the power.
It's hanging up on
Hi,
you
Oh,
today.
not the
everybody.
host. So I can hang up.
Hello.
Everyone, take care.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. Thank you. Hi,
Oh,
Barbara.
my goodness. Y'all are still on the phone talking?